Take a second to imagine this scenario. You're sitting at home on a beautiful day, watching TV, relaxing, you don't have anything to do. Essentially, it's a perfect day. The sun's out, the weather's nice, you figure, hey, my family's out right now, they're running errands, but I'm going to surprise them when they get back, and I'm going to plan a trip to the lake as soon as they get back. So you get everything ready, and you're really excited. All you need now is your family. Well, they've been out running errands for a while, so you figured maybe they should be home by now. Well, a few minutes go by, start to wonder, so you decide to give your spouse a call. Ring, 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 you get nothing. So you decide, or you come to the conclusion that, well, around this area, we don't get very good cell phone reception. So I'm not going to think too much of it. But then another hour goes by and you start to worry. They should have been home by now. They didn't have too many errands to run. Why aren't they home? So you call again, still nothing. Now it's just going straight to voicemail. Now you start to panic. So before you know it, your phone rings and you think, oh, thank God, it's my wife or my husband. So you answer the phone. Unfortunately, it's the local authorities. They're calling you to tell you that your husband or your wife has been involved in a two-car accident, and that your wife or your husband didn't make it. And then your children are being rushed by EMS to the nearest emergency room. And you're also told that the vehicle who caused the accident happened because the person driving the other car was trying to send a text and drifted into your family's vehicle's lane, causing a head-on collision. Now your life has taken a turn for the worse. Your dreams have been shattered, or your world has been shattered, all because somebody couldn't wait to send a text. And this is happening more and more. So, my name's Robert Constantin. Today, we're going to talk, I'm trying to persuade you that people who speak on cell phones or send text, anybody who uses a cell phone behind the wheel should face a harsh penalty in order to kind of get away from this scenario. People do it because they don't get punished. So we'll begin with some of the risks that are associated with operating a cell phone on the road while you're behind the wheel. According to the National Highway Safety Association, as found on distraction.com, here are a few risks that people are taking when they want to send a text, or they want to even just talk on a cell phone, maybe even use their GPS, because nowadays smartphones have GPS. So here's a few things that, I guess, risks that people are willing to take. One of them being brain activity is associated with driving is cut down by 37% while operating a cell phone. You don't even have to be on the phone itself. You can just be looking at it. Like, oh, if somebody sent me a text message, look. 37% right off the bat. So now, all the attention on the road is gone. It's cut down by 37% because you're worried about the cell phone. Don't worry about your cell phone. Just take the time. Stop. If it's that important, stop. You don't have to stay on your cell. You don't have to operate your cell phone. Do yourself a favor and everybody else around you. Just stop. Also, sending a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 4.6 seconds. This is equivalent of driving 55 miles an hour the length of a football field. For those of you who watch football or know anything about it, the football field is 100 yards from end zone to end zone. Essentially, you've driven 100 yards, the entire length of a football field, without even knowing you are blind. What do you think you're going to see? You're not going to see anything, obviously, because you're paying attention to your phone. That's how people get killed. That's how people get hurt. Stay off your cell phone. Give everybody around you a chance to not get hit by you, like in the scenario. Talking on a cell phone increases risk of crash by 4 times. It's bad enough driving out there and thinking everybody else is trying to kill you. Now you're increasing your chance of killing somebody else by 4 times. This is why people need to stay off the cell phones. Why we need these harsher punishments. Because scientifically and statistically speaking, this is the stuff that's associated with it. Right off the bat, it makes you an unsafe driver. So this is why people need to be punished. Few places, few states kind of incorporated the law, with operating a cell phone behind the wheel, but not enough. That's why people keep doing it. There's no punishment. Now let's talk about some of the statistics associated with motor vehicle accidents caused by cell phone use, or like texting, talking on the phone, operating GPS, whatever. You don't want to become one of these statistics. Over the past decade, cell phone use while driving has attributed to millions of motor vehicle accidents. Just in the U.S., not talking worldwide, because we're not the only nation that uses cell phones. The entire world uses cell phones. So take what we have just in the U.S. alone and multiply it by another, say, 100. That's what you're going to end up with worldwide. Again, the reports by the National Highway Traffic Association, as found on LA Times, they did an article that stated that between 2002 and 2007, 16,141 deaths were attributed to people just texting behind the wheel. Texting. This is why people need to be punished. Because nowadays, everybody talks by text. Doesn't matter where you are. Oh, I got a text. Where are you at? No matter what. This is why we need these penalties. And people need to vote for these penalties or push for these penalties to kind of deter people from operating a cell phone behind the wheel. Also, the National Safety Council reports, as found on the National Safety Commission .org, that about 200,000 accident-related injuries are attributed to texting. 200,000 accidents, not the 16,141 were deaths, but 200,000 of them were accidents where people just got hurt. That's a lot of people. And I'm talking, if you're not dead, this might say that you had brain damage for the rest of your life. Nobody wants to go through that. Nobody wants to put anybody else through that. Again, this is why we need these penalties. And as a whole, over 1.4 million automobile accidents are reported to be caused by driver being distracted by a cell phone. Again, I can't stress enough, this is why we need these harsher penalties. What we have now is good, but we're not where we need to be. People continue to use these cell phones, again, because there are no laws against them. And if they are, it's usually just a slap on the wrist, go on your way. And as soon as the officer who pulled the person over, as soon as they drive away, guess what they say? Hey, on Facebook, just got pulled over, ha ha ha. Right back to doing the same thing because nobody's scared. There's nothing to be afraid of. All you're going to do is get a pat on the hand saying don't do that again. People should be ticketed for any cell phone use behind the wheel. And I'm not talking like a $25 penalty. I'm talking like $100, $200, something substantial enough for people to not want to do it again. $25, whatever. $100, ooh, better look in my wallet. Oh man, I better not get caught talking on the cell phone again. There's no way I'm able to pay for it next time. 10 states already do this, including the District of Columbia and the Virgin Islands. I found this on www.distraction.gov. It's a good website to look at to get more stats like this. 10 states out of 50. Not quite there. It's starting to catch on in some of the other states, though. So I think we're making the right move. Also, I think if you're a repeat offender, you deserve a loss of your license. If you don't value your own life and the people around you, you don't need a license anyway. This is why we need to make harsher laws. You got to have people scared of something. They don't want to do it because they don't want to lose their license. They don't want to get fined. For extreme cases like fatalities, people should do hard jail time. Just recently, back in June, the accident happened last year. A kid in Massachusetts killed another vehicle operator because he was sending a text over the phone, over a cell phone while he was driving. I found this on msnbc.com. They did an article about it where the kid who caused the accident ended up getting 2 years of jail time and a loss of license for 15 years. Do you think he's going to do it again? Not anytime soon, at least for 15 years. By then, we probably won't even have cell phones anymore. This is why we need those laws to be a little bit more harsh. Just another, I guess you would say, another offender off the streets. Somebody could potentially do it again. So today we talked about some of the risks being involved with talking on a cell phone while driving. Then we went into some of the statistics over what has happened already. How many people cell phone, operating a cell phone behind the wheel. And then we talked about what some of the laws should be to make them more harsh so people would stop doing it, or at least deter them, make them think twice about it. I think everybody should be punished if caught using a cell phone behind the wheel. I hope you can agree with me. If not, just take a look at the stats and I think you might change your mind. But everybody should be punished. There should be harsh punishments for people who operate a cell phone behind the wheel, or else you're just going to become one of these statistics. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.